Hey there my fellow platist, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. As a professional food photographer for the past 10 years, I've literally taken photos of thousands of plates of food for hundreds of chefs and restaurants. So that puts me in a fairly unique position to understand what makes food look beautiful. Now as you know, the visual side of food is becoming more and more important, and you're just as likely to find a smartphone on the table these days as you are cutlery. The days of only having to worry about your food tasting amazing are gone, and in my humble opinion, how your food looks is every bit as essential to a successful dish. In this video, I'm going to break down everything I've learned through my professional food photography career, plus the knowledge gained from top UK chefs while creating this channel and the Food Envy podcast, and to distill it down into my 5 top tips to help you create more beautiful plates of food. So if you're a beginner, intermediate or even professional chef, cook or creator, there should be something here that can help you elevate your plate designs and presentations from the ordinary to the truly stunning and absolutely wow your diners. And strangely, the simplest and most accessible tip, no matter your level of experience, is also the most important. So make sure you get to tip number 5 to find out what it is. Right, no more mucking about, let's go to tip number 1. Colour plays a vital role in how we experience food. It has the power to influence our perceptions of flavour, enhance the visual appeal of a dish, and create a more enjoyable dining experience. The saying, "we eat with our eyes first," holds true, which is why understanding the basics of colour theory can significantly elevate your cooking. Colour sets the mood, attracts attention, evokes emotion, and even influences how appetizing our dishes appear. Understanding basic colour harmonies is a great starting point. Consider monochromatic, shades of a single colour, analogous, adjacent colours on the colour wheel, or complementary, opposite colours of the colour wheel. Remember, fewer colours often creates a better balance in food presentation. I recently did a whole video on colour theory, which I'll link to below. While colours carry associations, red with ripeness, green with freshness, their meanings can vary across cultures. If relying on colour symbolism, be mindful of your audience and how your choices might resonate with them. When creating colour palettes for food, draw inspiration from nature, limit yourself to maybe 3 colours, and consider how these colours will interact with your tableware. So here's a simple concept that might help you to get started with colour. Think about your colour proportions. So start with maybe roughly 60% of your plate showcasing your dominant colour, 30% featuring a secondary colour, and maybe 10% as a vibrant accent colour. These proportions provide guidance, but don't be afraid to adjust slightly. It depends on your dish for the desired effect. For instance, a salad might lean more heavily on green than the guidelines suggest, so iterate and adjust. Don't be afraid to experiment. Feel free to play with the plating arrangement and ingredient placement. Is the plate visually balanced? Do the colours harmonise as intended, enhancing the visual appeal of your ingredients? And be consistent but flexible. Repeating your chosen colour accents throughout a meal builds a cohesive dining experience. At the same time, allow yourself some flexibility for small, delightful variations. Perhaps a dessert plate inverts your main colour proportions for a playful surprise. Colour presentations aren't the result of chance. Through careful consideration and practice, you can harness the power of colour to create visually stunning and memorable dishes. Are you ready to connect with other passionate cooks who love the visual side of food? Perhaps get some honest feedback on your latest colour combinations you've just tried? Well, why not join our private Facebook group? Share your creations, find inspirations, and take your plating to the next level. You'll find the link in the description below, next to the like and the subscribe buttons. To the uninitiated, plating might seem deceptively simple. You put the food on the plate, that's it, right? But for a chef who takes the visual side of food seriously, the art of compositions goes far deeper than that, and can be surprisingly tricky to master. So let's explore how layout, ingredient choice, and placement can transform your dishes into stunning works of art. Lines and shapes subtly guide the eye. A drizzle of sauce creates movement across the plate, while shapes evoke a different feeling. Consider the rule of 3, where odd numbers are often more visually appealing, creating a natural balance. Negative space, the area around your food, is equally important. It's like a frame for your culinary masterpiece, highlighting your ingredients. Resist the temptation to overcrowd the plate. A little emptiness actually emphasises your dish's focal point. Scale refers to the size and proportion of each element. Consider how each component fits into the presentation as a whole. Scale communicates your intention. A large portion might highlight a special ingredient, while a well-proportioned plate signals refinement. Finally, tension and contrast make your plate visually exciting. Juxtapose textures, colours or shapes for a compelling effect. An off-centre element adds intrigue, drawing the eye around the design. Contrast, whether in size, colour or complexity, ensures your dish stands out, leaving a lasting impression. From a photography point of view, and therefore the diner, the plate is fundamental to your design. Its colour, shape and size profoundly influence the overall aesthetic of your dish. A classic white plate creates high contrast, making your food colours pop. Conversely, a coloured plate can harmonise with your ingredients, or playfully clash for a bold effect. Just check out this plate from Anthony Raffo. I love how the dot texture mirrors the bubbles in the sauce and the circle shapes of the fish and the oyster leaf. It speaks to a cohesive narrative and shows the thought and planning that Anthony put into this creation. Just like when I mount a picture in photography, the plate literally frames your creation. Interesting shapes, rectangles, ovals, or more abstract designs can guide the eye. The rim provides a boundary influencing how we perceive portion size and how you arrange your components. Its style sets the mood for the meal. An ornate, formal plate suggests a vastly different aesthetic than a rustic earthenware one. Consider how the plate's material and design align with the dining experience you want to create. Believe it or not, the plate's colour can even affect how we taste the food itself. Studies suggest that white plates might even make desserts seem sweeter. Intriguing, isn't it? Choosing the right plate is a vital part of its design. It's the foundation on which you build your dish. Just like if an architect designs a house but puts no thought into the foundations, disaster is pretty much the only outcome. Want to make sure you've considered all the essential elements of plate design before serving your next dish? Well, I've got you covered. Download my free Plate Like a Pro checklist to ensure your creations are as visually stunning as they are delicious. You'll find the link in the description below. As I said at the start of this video, I've taken thousands of photos of food for hundreds of chefs and restaurants over my 10 years. And I've been constantly surprised more don't consider the visual aspect of their dishes to be as important as the taste itself. Now clearly, I understand that flavour is paramount. A dish that looks stunning but tastes bland is a complete failure. However, it's been striking to me how often presentation seems like a rushed afterthought, something to be done quickly after the real cooking is finished. To me, a chef who gives equal weight to both taste and presentation demonstrates a deeper passion for their craft. It's about understanding that the dining experience is multi-sensory, and that the visual aspect sets the stage for everything that follows. It's a way to communicate the care, creativity, and respect for both your ingredients and the diners that you're serving. Let's be honest, our first impression of a dish is always visual. We haven't even tasted it yet, but the way it looks creates an anticipation, whetting the appetite or sparking curiosity. Just think about how important first impressions are in other aspects of life. Would you be with your current partner or spouse if you or they didn't make a good first impression? I doubt it. The rise of social media has only amplified the importance of a dish's aesthetic. Platforms like Instagram celebrate beautiful food, and diners are increasingly savvy about visual presentation. If you haven't considered this side of your cooking yet, it's time to start now. Embrace the visual aspect, experiment and express your aesthetic style. It's a way to distinguish yourself in an increasingly competitive and visually driven culinary landscape. By embracing the visual aspects of your cooking, you'll not only elevate your dishes, but also demonstrate a passion that resonates with discerning diners. But there's a tip that many miss. For me, the key to stunning plate design lies in careful pre-planning. Just like when I'm working on a photo shoot, the more planning I can do with a client before pressing the shutter button, the better the shoot will go. I need to understand the brief with a mood board or storyboard, what's being cooked, when it'll be ready, so I can get the lights, background, tableware all ready so I can shoot it while it looks absolutely perfect. And it's the same for plate design. The more you understand the story you want your dish to tell, the easier it will be for you to execute your vision beautifully. Start by sketching out your ideas. Don't worry, you don't need to be an artist. Simple shapes can represent your ingredients, allowing you to play with colour, scale, negative space, and those crucial final touches like garnishes and sauces. What's the story of your dish? Does it reflect a cultural influence, your own philosophy as a chef, be it minimalism, sustainability, modern rustic, or even something else, and the values of your restaurant? This narrative will help you guide your plating choices, and actually working within restrictions can bring out more creativity rather than stifling it, as it takes certain choices off the table and makes you focus harder on others. For example, if you limit yourself to a monochromatic plate design, then that limits what ingredients you can select, requiring you to get more creative. Planning in advance has even more benefits. You can involve your whole team, getting value input and feedback at an early stage. This allows time to refine your plating and also aids in execution during service. Practicing in a calm environment ensures that even complex plating can be done smoothly under pressure. And if not, at least you know in advance and can change the presentation before inviting chaos when the dish first hits the menu. Pre-planning is all about establishing a visual roadmap for the diner's eye. It's the difference between a haphazard collection of ingredients and a dish that feels thoughtfully composed. Most importantly, it shows your diners that you care about every aspect of their experience, engaging more of their senses and creating a truly memorable culinary journey. Having worked on the visual side of food for a decade, I hope that some of these experiences can help you, at whatever level you're at. Remember, beautiful plating isn't about being a professional artist. It's about understanding a few simple practices and approaching your dishes with creativity and care. By carefully considering composition, colour theory, the role of the plate itself, and the importance of pre-planning, you can transform ordinary meals into stunning dining experiences. Your guests will taste the difference that thoughtful presentation can make. If you're looking for fresh inspiration or techniques to create your own unique plating designs, be sure to check out my video linked here on idea generation. You'll learn how to draw ideas from social media, reverse engineering existing plates, or even use a design sprint framework to spark brilliant new concepts. Now, I challenge you to put these ideas into practice and expand your creative toolkit even further. And we'd love to see the results over in our Facebook group.